match.
The Sunday match visits Reading for the first time. Reading romped away with the second division. They're having another very good season. Last Sunday, their manager Mark McGee was our studio expert, weighing up the pros and cons of reviving Leicester City. McGee's decided to go. After some hesitation, he's already made his first point at Filbert Street. So now, top striker Jimmy Quinn is part of a players' workers' cooperative, facing Wolves, who've been spending once again. The Dutchman John de Wolf is the new defensive rock and skipper. Don Goodman's arrived from Sunderland to spice up the attack. Hello, good afternoon to you all. Reading still smouldering a bit after that departure from Mark McGee, and we'll be hoping to talk to their chairman, John Medeski, a little bit later on. We've also got action from Turf Moor, where the leaders Middlesbrough are playing Burnley, and we'll be following Luton Strip as well to West Bromwich Albion. And we've got the Brentford 7 from Griffin Park as well. Once again, I'm delighted to welcome Terry Venables as our studio guest. Hi, Terry.
Hi, Jim.
Terry, let's just talk about an interim period, if you like, that they've got at Reading. No manager, and it's all down to the players. What sort of a situation is that for the team?
Well, it's not an ideal one. I mean, everybody's got to have a leader, even if sometimes you don't agree with him. Through having a disagreement, you can actually go forward. But to have no one at all there, leaves it in a situation where excuses can be made if things go wrong, and it's not an ideal situation at all.
OK, well, thanks, Terry. Well, let's just have a word with the two temporary gaffers, shall we, at Elm Park, Jimmy Quinn and Mick Gooding. And these two have been having a little word with our reporter this afternoon at Elm Park. It's Matt Lorenzo.
If I could start with you, it's been something of a week. You've lost a manager who did a lot for the club, and you end up having to pick the team and manage it.
Yeah, obviously it was a surprise of the day when Mark changed his mind and eventually went to Leicester. Then the chairman pulled myself and Jim and a couple of other lads, and just said, for the time being, will you help us along? And, obviously we didn't have any problems with that, so here we are.
What state does that leave Reading FC in?
Well, no team likes to lose a manager, but we all need a leader. But I'm quite sure if you ask the lads, the last 2.5 years since I've been here, you need leaders on the pitch to be as successful as Reading have been. And, that's what we're depending on today. Obviously, a few leaders out on the pitch today to get us through this match.
Mick, I know this move came as a surprise, but did you ever want to be a player manager or manager?
No, it's obviously the happenings of the last week have sort of come as a complete surprise, but I've never really looked at it. I've done a little bit of coaching before, but, it's come rather quicker than I thought it would, to be honest.
Well, you, Jim, couldn't pick many games tougher than your first one in charge. Wolverhampton Wanderers, second in the division. How do you think this one's going to go?
Well, we know it's going to be a tough game. We knew that even if Mark McGee had still been here. But, we're at home today. We've got the cameras on us, and I think a lot of pressure's on Wolves. They're the team with the big money. We're not a club like that. We're a small club, and obviously they've got to beat us today. But our lads are all geared up to playing well today.
Right, they're all geared up, Terry. We're going to hear from the chairman, John Medeski, at half-time. Any further thoughts, having seen that interview?
Yeah, I think what's important as well there is in the short term it can work quite well because they're all pulling together, and if you get a group participation where they come up with ideas, they're going to work that much harder to make it work. And I think in the short term it can work well, and sometimes from that it can emerge, like Mick Gooding, all of a sudden is there, perhaps he does well. And I think today Wolves have got a hard game in their hands.
Sure, but in the long term...
In the long term, there's got to be something more substance there.
OK, right. Well, I can tell you at Elm Park, they're expecting the biggest crowd of the season, and we're going to be joining there very shortly for Reading against Wolves.
Look, I told you, I can't cook curry in a pressure cooker. Send out for a takeaway, will you? Yellow Pages, supporters of the Sunday match.
If you make frequent use of your mobile phone and superb call quality is important to you, then Cellnet's new digital network with its sharp, clear calls could be your network. And calls still cost from only 12p a minute. Call the big network on 0800 21 4000.
There's got to be more to life than this.
When was the last time you felt all the elements? Boss elements.
The jackpot is an estimated £6 million this Saturday.
It's you.
It could be you.
Come with us as we awaken our dormant sixth sense through the existing five.
Can you feel it? The sense that allows you to know the future. You just know what you're going to want later, don't you?
We reach nearly half of UK homes and sell airtime for Granada, LWT, Yorkshire Tyne Tees and Border, who produce programmes no one wants to miss.
Ostoksilla käyminen on paljon helpompaa Mastercardillani.
C'è un fiepini Mastercard ahí a Danfopá.
Elegí Mastercard porque es famosa en el mundo.
Eu posso usar o meu Mastercard no Brasil e no mundo inteiro.
मेरे परिवार दा इक्को कार्ड है, ए Mastercard है.
Ho na le mefuta-futa ya dikarete, empa nna ke ikgethela Mastercard.
Anhaga Meagen Mastercard.
どこでも使えるから私はマスターカードを使っています。
Wherever you go, you can work a Mastercard.
Oh, it's an anniversary present. Have you got a two-speed drill?
We have actually, sir.
Cracked it.
Yellow Pages, supporters of the Sunday match.
Hello once again. Well, Wolves have hardly been showing championship form in recent weeks. We've seen them 3 times on the television, 3 blanks and 3 defeats. So it's hardly surprising they're now second favourites behind the leaders, Middlesbrough. Let's have a word with manager Graham Taylor talking about his 2 new signings.
A word about John de Wolf, who must have fitted in very well at Molineux because he's captain this afternoon. Could it be said then that there's something good that came out of that night in Rotterdam?
Well, I'm here to talk about Wolves. I'm not here to talk about things that happened in the past, am I, Matt? Don't be naughty.
Well, let's talk about the player then.
John's done very well. I mean, he's only had the 1 game, so it's still a settling in progress for him. And I'm very hopeful that by the time he has settled into English football and all of its demands, that he'll be a very good signing for the Wolves.
And Don Goodman, another signing you've made recently, he fitting in okay?
Yeah, he's done well as well. I mean, he's been overshadowed somewhat by the signing of John de Wolf, but I think that Don now is reaching a part of his career where we'll see the very best of him. And once again, hopefully that will be for the benefit of Wolves.
So John de Wolf and Don Goodman, the two new men in the Wolves team. The team's on their way out, as I understand, at Elm Park. What do you feel, though, Terry, about this game? I mean, he's obviously felt he's had to shake things up a bit with these two new signings.
One or two bad results, but fortunately for them, that it's not done too much damage because the teams underneath have not taken advantage of that. But John de Wolf, I think, is a guy that if you're in the dressing room, you look around your season, your team, you feel quite happy. He inspires players and he's a real character, strong character. And of course, front men like Bull and alongside Goodman, they're going to be a danger. They look like they've got quite a good shape to their side now, and it's a matter of for them to get back on track again very quickly.
Jimmy Quinn we're seeing there, the sort of acting manager. I mean, they want goals from him as well as leadership, won't they?
Well, he's trying to get around them now and try to spur them on a little bit, and he knows there's a lot of responsibility on his shoulders because he's the one that they're relying for goals.
Thanks, Terry. Let's join Theo Foley and Brian Moore.
Good afternoon to you from Elm Park. Let's take a check on the two sides first today. Starting with Reading, well, their senior pros in charge have wisely left things as they were during Mark McGee's very successful reign here. It's the side that, according to Jimmy Quinn, is really fired up for this particular day. Good experience in the midfield. Mick Gooding is a former Wolves player. Simon Osborne, once of Crystal Palace. Michael Gilks, watch out for him, among the quickest men in the game. And Quinn and Stuart Lovell are the strikers. Well, they're going to face Wolves' new defender, John de Wolf, the Dutch international from Feyenoord, World Cup player, one who saw off England's and Graham Taylor's hopes in that World Cup qualifier in a never-to-be-forgotten night in Rotterdam. So Wolves then, recently strengthened by the purchase of de Wolf and Don Goodman from Sunderland, now restore Paul Blades to their defence. But Goodman and Steve Bull provide a formidable striking partnership, although the Wolves manager, Graham Taylor, reveals also that Bull has an Achilles problem that might shortly need an operation, and in the meantime they are hoping that injections might just solve that problem. Referee is Paul Alcock of Reading.